Hey everybody, it's Brad here from Yugioh Plus One. Today I want to share with you guys my extra deck Monarch build, XYZ Monarchs, whatever you want to call it. This is what I believe to be the best deck currently, and what I'm planning on taking the Nats actually. So I'm just going to go through the list and just give some justifications on my cards. Maybe I'll find out that this is the best list and I'll end up taking this. But I'll try to keep you updated on any changes I do make. So I'm running one Dark Witch. Now, this is a light, level 5 normal monster, and that's important. So, if I had a Brilliant Fusion and a Return, I could activate the Brilliant Fusion, send my Gem Knight Lazuli that I'm running, to add my Dark Witch back to my hand that I sent with it, then activate Return of the Monarchs, and use the additional normal of Seraphonite to normal Dark Witch, then add a Monarch to my hand. So that's kind of a way of unbricking. So it's just one card, and it adds a lot of consistency to the deck, so I ended up playing it. Another reason why I'm running it instead of other light monsters is it is a fairy type as well, so it helps me get around cards like Rivalry of the Warlords, because both Gem Knight Seraphonite and Aether are fairies, so I could still make a large play even if they have Rivalry of the Warlords. I'm running one Gem Knight Garnet and one Gem Knight Lazuli. Now, the Garnet is still in the testing phase. I'm still not entirely sure it's going to be a Garnet, but I'm going to run two Gem Knight cards. And the reason I decided to do this is because Brilliant Fusion is so powerful in this deck that it is important to pull it off each game. I've done a lot of testing, and because this deck draws so much with the Pantheism, you draw into your Lazuli if you just run one of it very frequently. So I've decided to run two Gem Knights, and then I still have the ability to shuffle one of them or both of them back into the deck with Durandal if I am able to make it, however. So that's another reason why I'm running two, because you can't always get access to this. So next I'm running, for the Squires, I'm running two Edea and two Eidos. I was running originally two Edea, one Eidos, and two Mithra, but this has changed due to a number of different factors, but the majority of the reason is Mithra locked me out of my extra deck whenever I drew it, and Edea doesn't always. Also, Edea is better to send if you use Quick Draw Synchron to the graveyard than any of the other ones. Edea is pretty amazing to send off Brilliant Fusion too, so it's all in all just a really good card, and that's about it for that. So triple Aether, it's the best card in the deck. You can't run any less than it. I'm running two Erebus. Now, I decided to cut this down from 3 just to get space for my extra techs I'm running, and it's not necessary at 3, and I actually feel like it can brick at 3. If you open 3 of it, which chances are you won't ever, but even if you open 2 of it, you're not going to be able to summon one of them, and you're not going to want to. So 2 of it seems fine for me. I want to see it, but I don't want to see multiples. Double Kuraz, this unbricks you. I would consider 3 if I could find the space, but definitely need 2 because you need one for Kuraz in the deck always, and yeah, that's about it. Now, double Quick Draw Synchron and double Solar Windjammer. So first I'm going to talk about Solar Windjammer. I opted to run this over any other thing such as Red Layer or Cyber Dragon because it is a level 5 light machine that my opponent doesn't need to have a monster, unlike Cyber Dragon. So it being light helps make Pleiades. It being a machine helps make Cyber Dragon Nova, which would go into Cyber Dragon Infinity. And then, obviously, the benefit of them not having to have a monster to special it helps me use it on my turn 1. Then, I'm running Quick Draw Synchron because I can discard dead cards from my hand, because I did opt to run some inconsistent cards with the 2 Gem Knights instead of just 1, Dark Witch, and then Eidos and Edea. So it has a lot of good targets to discard. Even Erebus is a good card to discard because you can pitch a spell to bring it back from the grave. Once it's on the field, however, it is a level 5 machine, so it helps make Nova. And it's a level 5 tuner monster, so I can use it in combination with Solar Windjammer, Dark Witch, Prime, Seraphonite, any of those monsters to make Ultimate Sulkin. Now, this isn't a new combo to you, probably. You've definitely seen this, I bet. But it was included in my deck because it's just so powerful, and it goes really well with the deck, honestly. If I'm able to pull that off, I can then use the Ultimate Sulkin as tribute material, so I don't even really lose any monsters from my field and get a free Crystal Wing. It's really strong in the deck. I definitely recommend playing this if you are playing Extra Deck Monarchs. So 3 Brilliant Fusion. This is the best card in the deck. Brilliant Fusion is just nuts. I have to play 1 Domain. Any more feels bricky to me, but I definitely enjoy having 1 in my deck to make Aether and Eidos 1 tribute monsters. Also, it's necessary to boost my tribute summon monsters over Ultimate Falcon. For those of you that don't know that, it's like the new towers, kind of. So, unaffected by card effects, and it's 3,500 attack. So, this helps me get over it by 100 attack points. I'm running 1 Frost Blast. I don't like back row, so I'm opted to run it. It's a good card to send off both of my Aether and Erebus, and also Pantheism. So that's about it for that card. 1 Instant Fusion. So Instant Fusion adds a lot to the deck by being in here, but seeing multiple of it is always bad in my opinion, so I opted to run 1. So it helps me get rid of problem cards with Thousand Eyes Restrict, make rank 5s, which can also out problem cards and create OTKs with Panzer Dragon. And then it can also get me a lot of summons. If I go Norden, and then I opt to bring back Edea, when I tribute both of them, I get 2 tributes for my 1 card, and then I get to add back a banished spell or trap from Edea. Now, 3 Pantheism, obviously, 3 Return. This is so I can always get it off of Pantheism if I don't have access to it. So I can banish Pantheism and reveal 3 Return. This is especially useful in situations where I don't open up a Tribute Summon monster, and I open up something like the Brilliant Fusion, so I can get access to Dark Witch. Then I will have my Return, no matter what, and then be able to get access to my Monarchs. Triple Tenacity, the card's really dumb. It's fodder for Prime and Frost Blast, and then also it can just search out any of your combo pieces you need. Triple Stormforth, just obvious. 1 Twin Twister in the main. As I was saying, I do run a lot of cards that aren't that great in the hand, and I'm not too big of a fan of back row such as Solemn Strike or Pendulum Scales. So this has some targets it can hit that are in most main decks right now, and it's not going to be too detrimental to my plays. I can discard things like Prime or Pantheism to get them to the grave for their effects, and yeah, I am a triple Prime guy. I definitely like triple Prime, and even in between games, if I'm not liking it actually in a certain match, I can side out 1. It makes an easy side out target. But 3 is really useful in the grind game against Monarchs, because you always want to have 2 in your graveyard, and then you don't want to run out of advantage, so you can keep putting back other cards into your deck with Prime, the 3rd one that you have on your field. That's about it. It's also good for getting it off Pantheism. If you open up 2 Pantheism or something like that, then you can guarantee you get it. So that's about it for the main deck. Now I'm going to talk about the extra deck first. I kind of went into it a little bit. We got Norden, Seraphonite, Panzer, Thousand Eyes Restrict. We have the Ultimaya engine. We have Crystal Wing, a Michael, and Ultimaya Sulkin. Michael can remove floodgates and put on a lot of damage. Then we have 1 Adrius to pop floodgates, 1 Durandal to unbrick yourself as well as stop your opponent. This card is really nuts against Cosmo. If you can make this, then set something. They aren't going to be able to do too much on their turn because you can just stop their effects by making it a MST. Pleiades, out cards, problem cards. Cyber Dragon Infinity and Nova, obviously a big problem card. And then Gaia Dragon with Volcasaurus, just attack on a ton of damage. And then Hope Harbinger is a pretty big card. I haven't actually made it, but I do see its uses, so I'm keeping it in the extra deck for now. Side deck is not completely finished. I'm still testing it, but I have triple Veiler and triple Maxi. This is for when I'm knowing I'm going second. So if my opponent has like Burning Abyss, I can side in the Maxi. If they have Pendulums, I can side in Veilers for their Sorcerers, for their Joker, other things like that. Chugaimakel. This is kind of in there just for Rogue, honestly. It's really good against Ultimate Falcon, which is a scary card if you can't get rid of it. And yeah, that's about it. Chew Twin Twister, you always gotta have 3 somewhere between your main and your side. It's really powerful against the right deck. Sorry about that. Triple Stygian Dirge. This is for against BA instead of running Winter Cherries. Now, I opted to run this because if I lose game 1 and I'm given the choice between first and second, if I had Winter Cherries, I'd have to let them go first, meaning they could set up their plays uninterrupted if I don't draw into my Winter Cherries. But if I go first, I have a lot more chances to draw on this card, making it more alive than Cherries would be. Because I have cards like Pantheism. That is Trapstun. I really hate Card of Demise, and that's just for this deck, really. Card of Demise is just a really busted card. But I will have a rant about that in a later video, so stay tuned for that. But this is the list, guys. Tell me what you think. The list is doing amazing right now. It can be so versatile. Just one game I didn't even open up a way to get to a Monarch, and I ended up making an Ultimaya, bringing out Crystal Wing, tributing my Ultimaya for another Quick Draw Synchron, then instant fusioning for Panzer Dragon, and making a Cyber Dragon Infinity with a Crystal Wing. It was pretty nuts, and I did it all at an even. I still had 3 cards in hand and field on top of those, so that's about it, guys, and I will see you later.